What's up, dreamers? And anybody that's new, welcome to my channel. I'm Shan. Pause 1 second and click the subscribe button so that you can receive notifications of my next uploads. Now back to the video. Okay, if you saw my last video about the days leading up to my exam, then at the end of it, I told you I would give you more information on what that exam was and what it entails and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to try to sum up that exam in a few minutes just to give you the basic information on it. I'm not going to be talking about any study material or anything like that. Just what is this exam, why I have to take it, and what are the implications of whatever score I receive on the exam. Okay, so I got some notes here just to make sure I hit all the points that I need to talk about in the time that I want to do it. So first, the exam that I took is a part of a series of exams that you have to take in the United States in order to become a licensed physician, meaning you've gone to medical school, you've graduated from medical school, and you've passed this exam, so they feel like you are fit to treat patients in the U.S. So I took part 1. There are 3 parts of this exam. You take 2 of them in medical school and 1 when you go into residency. You'll take it then. And I took the first part. So when do you take this exam? It just really varies depending on your school. For me, my school makes you take it at the end of your 2nd year. Our first 2 years are nothing but lecture-based learning. We do 2 years inside of the classroom learning the ins and outs of the body and diseases, normal state versus disease state, and things like that. And this exam pretty much tests you on all of that, making sure that you're at a level of proficiency where you can at least go into a hospital and try to give differentials for different diagnoses for different things. So if someone comes in with a cold, can you say, okay, this could potentially be a cold, it could be the flu, X, Y, and Z. So that's what the exam is. And you have to pass the exam at my school in order to be promoted into your clinical years. And clinical years just means rotation. So rotating through internal medicine, family medicine, peds, whatever specialties your school may offer. You have to pass this exam in order to do that. And the reason I said it may vary is because some schools have different curriculums. Some schools have condensed their 1st and 2nd year down to 18 months. So again, it depends on your school's curriculum, but you will take this exam before you go into your clinical rotations. Next, as of 2019, the cost of this exam is $630. Not sure what the previous cost was or if it will go up, but generally exams go up periodically, so most likely 10 years from now this exam will be more than what it is now. But it's $630. You pay that to the National Board of Medical Examiners, MBME for short, and your school kind of helps you facilitate that process. They help you with the paperwork, give you signatures that you need, and then you mail it off. You get a scheduling permit, which allows you to go into Prometric website, which is the website that they're using now, or the scheduling company they're using now, and you pick a day between your eligibility period. And your eligibility period lasts for 3 months, and you have to take your exam within that. Period, or you pay additional money to extend your eligibility period out. Then we have the structure of the exam. Okay, so the exam is an 8-hour-long exam. There are 7 sections to the exam, and then they give you between 45 minutes and an hour on break. So technically the exam is 7 sections. Each section is 40 questions, and they give you an hour for each section. You don't have to take the entire time if you don't need it, but the hour is the max you will get whether or not you answer all of the 40 questions. And you can determine whenever you want to take your break in between those sections as well. Scores and score release date. So, theoretically, if you looked up information online about this exam, the score ranges from 1 to 300. That's the theoretical number that they give. The average score as of 2018 was a 232, meaning that of all the people that took the exam, a large bulk of the people fell within that 232 score range. The scores are 3 digits, just like the MCAT is now. Once you get your score report, it'll tell you the percentile ranking which you fall under, meaning this is how many people that you did better than. So generally, what I've seen from watching other YouTube videos, people who score 270 and above are in the 90th plus percentile rank, meaning they scored better than majority of the test takers. In order to pass this exam, however, you only need a 194 in order to pass this exam. Certain scores translate into the ability to work into certain specialties. So what's the implication of the score that you receive on the Step 1 USMLE exam? So basically, the higher your score is, the better chances you have of deciding what specialty you're able to go into. And the results from this exam are used as a part of your application process when you apply to residency programs. This is not the only thing they look at. They also look at your grades in medical school. They also look at letters of recommendation from faculty members, which are medical faculty members and physicians that you may have worked with on your clinical rotations. They look at other type of descriptive narratives about you that they receive from your school or your dean. But those are the main things that they look at in order to decide if they want to potentially interview you for a spot in their residency program. And when I talked to a physician, this is how he equated this exam for me. He stated that your Step 1 exam is your foundation to medicine. It's your foundation to the things that you know, the things that you learn in medical school, your foundation to understanding disease processes, understanding the physiology of the body, and all that good stuff. So, no residency program wants to have to teach you foundational material over. They can teach you how to talk. They can teach you how to work with patients. They can teach you about differentials if you know the basics, but they don't want to have to teach you everything that you should have learned in medical school. So this score is very important because it shows that you're proficient in the knowledge that you have acquired during medical school. And your score on this exam is supposed to show your proficiency. This exam is similar to the MCAT, in which you never know what topics you'll be tested. So while you could be really great in pharmacology and pathology, you could have a test full of microbiology or things like that. So you really need to be a very well-rounded individual in order to do well on this exam, and very proficient in a lot of areas. This is only my opinion based on what I've heard from my medical schools, from other medical schools, talking to residents, and talking to physicians. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, and of course talk to other people. But your score will either open or close doors for you. Of course, in any type of application process, there has to be a weeding out process because there's so many people applying. They have to have cutoffs, and a lot of the application processes are computerized, and they may put in that they only accept people who are above the average, so above 232 or whatever the number is. But those programs that do have that type of cutoff, that eliminates people who are on the lower end of the spectrum, if you get what I'm saying. So your score, that's what I mean when I say your score can open or close doors for you. If you have a higher score, you have a better opportunity of matching into more competitive specialties. So I'm not going to say a score alone is going to get you into a competitive residency, but a score will help you. A higher score will give you a better chance than if you have a lower score. But pretty much your score, the higher score you have, the more competitive you are during the residency application process. And when I say the more competitive you are, meaning that you have the potential to apply to more competitive residencies. And they could be competitive because of the work-life balance, the income forecast, just a whole lot of things. But like I said, this is just going to be a general informational type of video because you can really go very in-depth with the whole score and what specialties you can match into, and it's really political too, and it's kind of touchy, and I'm not going to really get into that because, like I said, it's really deep, and it would take me a long time to explain it. It's also very opinionated as well. So that's what the USMLE is. That's what the Step 1 USMLE is. If you have any questions about the exam or want to leave a comment or want to clarify anything that I've said or add anything to what I've said, please leave a comment below because, again, this is just what I've gathered about the exam from my personal experience and speak to others. So that's the end of the video. Again, it was really brief, just trying to give you a little information on the exam, and I hope it was helpful for anybody who was curious about it or wanted some additional information. And I'm going to end the video like this. Always remember there are enough stars in the universe for everybody to win. And in order for your dream to come true, all it requires is a little bit of action from you. All right, see you guys.